All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your return. I'm your host, 2B, and this is Nethalas Into the Midnight Throne. In the previous video, we were battling this cave-bound Leech, and we thought that we dealt it damage, but then we didn't because it recovered some of its health through a defensive move. And yeah, since we previously attacked, it's now its turn. So here we go. It rolls a d100 on its attack. And lo and behold, we hit a body part, which we hit its head, so this one doesn't exist anymore, or it's crippled. Think Fallout, for instance. If you know the game, then think the body part, one of part is disabled right now. It causes this monster to have a combat skill of -10. So instead of 30, it gains +10 because the attacker, so it's 40, but because there's a disabled body part, it becomes 30 again. I'll show that in number. It has a combat skill of 30. Because it is the attacker, it gains +10, so it's 40, so it needs to roll 40. However, because there's one body part again, one body part that's damaged, it's another -10. So this one is removed, so it's at 30. Lucky me, it rolled 36, so this guy failed its attack. That's good for us because if we are attacked by any attack skill, we can always roll our defense move. And I rolled a beautiful 99 fumble. Fumbles on a d10 on the fumble table. Rolled it right here. You managed to strike yourself with a normal attack. Great. So I'm swinging my sword around, or perhaps the hilt hits me in the chest or something, or I don't know exactly what happened, but I hit myself. Beautiful. Okay, well, this is a good one. This is a very good roll. I hit 11, so 11 is my chest. My chest is a piece of armor. I'm very certain I'm wearing a piece of armor right there. Which is my armor? Yes, which is my torso. So yes, I'm hitting my torso. However, I roll a 1. I'm very happy with it because a 1 deals 0 damage. So that is a very lucky fumble. One of the things which I immediately get into is whenever your armor takes damage in any kind of way, whenever it's hit at the end of combat, your torso or your armor will go through a integrity check, which is very similar to what you see with the tension in the layer domain. Our integrity is at a D10 level right now, and at the end of combat, whenever your armor has seen at least use once, you will roll once on any of the dice that it says, and if it rolls a 2 or a 1, you immediately reduce it. One of the things that I tend to do is the moment I take a hit right there, I'll already do this, especially when this is only one piece of armor. I immediately do it. I can't forget it anymore at the end of the game. Look up armor integrity in the rulebook and you'll find what I mean exactly here, but I already rolled it, so I can't forget at the end of combat, especially when combat is a little bit tiresome and you have done a lot. At the end of combat, you will quite easily forget your armor integrity roll, and I already do it during combat, so you can't forget it. That was its attack. We proceed to our attack again, so here we go. What I'm going to do is speed up a little bit of the fight. So right here, roll 16. I did succeed. My hit on its 16, which is its body where it has a armor. And this one right here, I add +1, so this is 2. I deal with 1 damage, but it has an armor right there, so it is 0. That's pretty much it. It has a defense roll, so it rolls a d10 on the defense, and it says here that if it's prone, paralyzed, or stunned, that it's gone. Otherwise, its next attack gains +10. So that is pretty much it for my turn. It's its turn again. It's the attacker. It gained +10 over here. So its combat skill is 50 minus his one disabled body part is combat skill 40. He does succeed this. He hits my right leg. There's no armor over there. He rolls 4, so what does he do? The razor bite again. The cave-bound Leech strikes with its razor-sharp teeth, attempting to pierce the target's flesh. It makes a melee attack dealing 1d8 piercing damage on a hit if the target is wearing armor. The cave-bound Leech gains advantage on the attack roll due to its teeth ability to gnaw through sturdy protection. I forgot that this enemy had a advantage in the previous roll, but luckily I think it hit me, so I don't have to explain the advantage. 88 of piercing damage. It rolls a 1, so it doesn't deal me any damage at all. There's no damage modifiers on this creature whatsoever. It does a piercing though, which I find a bit strange how it's described in the damage table. It says you're caused mainly by certain weapons and creatures such as spears or a beast's bite. Piercing damage attacks deals +1 damage when a character performing the attack acts before their target. I would say that this is specific for something like a surprise. Yes, they do act before me, but it is a very awkward idea. Yeah, I do not really understand exactly what it means here. I gather that piercing is way more focused on the stealth component. So I don't add a +1 to its attack right here. Because acts before me, I'm rolling a defense roll right now. So it's not a acting before me. We are both in a fight. We are both attacking and defending each other. It is not a performing the attack before their target. So this is why I say this is a specific rule to anybody who's surprising the enemy with a piercing weapon and hitting them. They gain 1 extra point on their die, 1 extra attack point. I rolled 98, so my defense failed, and its attack also failed. So let's just move on. I'm the attacker again. It is the defender. I have 75. Attack skill, I do succeed it. I hit it on his 19, and I hit it with 4. +1, so this becomes a 5. A 5 is then 2 damage. There's no armor there, so this becomes a 3. 19. Yes, that was his head. And this is your defense roll is 20. So you have a combat skill 30 minus your body part is 20. So you just succeeded this one. And you roll a 2. Reduce your opponent's armor by 1 in 1 random location until the end of combat. So we roll a d20. 15. So my left arm has -1 armor, which doesn't exist. So whatever. I think that was random enough. Moving on to its attack again. It has 68, so it failed its attack. It didn't do all that much because it needed to roll 20. It has penetrating as well as alert. Yes, okay. I get my defense roll. 37. I do succeed that, so I get a d10 on the defensive move table, which I roll a 9. And I recover 2 toughness. Pretty neat. I was thinking you could, if you completely destroy a enemy, so it barely has any attack value left, you could keep attacking and keep defending and keep attacking, keep defending, and hopefully roll 9s all the time to you recover some of your toughness. It's possible. I do think that it's also likely you'll get a lot of fumbles in the meantime. So I don't know. Just a little hint. That was my attack. It has the... Oh, it was its attack and it was my defense. So it is my attack again. 25. And your defense is 75, so you didn't get your defense roll. I deal here 3 on 11, so I have 3, which is only dealing 1 damage. It's not enough to go through its armor, so that is pretty much it. That sucks. So it's the attacker again. I am the defender again. It rolls 14. It has 30, 40. It needs 40. Hits me on my left leg, so this doesn't count, and this is the 4, and I think this is the exact same attack as it did before. Yeah, so Razor Bite again. It gains the advantage. I forgot the advantage again. My apologies for that one. 3. So it's dealing 1 damage to me. I'll use a die here to show that it has a advantage. I'm gonna give it 2 advantage points because I forgot the other one. So these next attacks have a advantage if he rolls on it. As its health done. My defense 37. I just succeeded because I have a bladed weapon of 65, but I parry with it, which gives me plus 10 defense. So this is 75. So I just succeeded it. 4. Prone, paralyzed, or stunned is removed. Otherwise, my next attack gains plus 10, which is neat. And represent that with a die right here. That was my defense move, so now I'm the attacker again. Let's see. Yeah, the advantage, I didn't explain this yet, but the advantage is whenever you roll, let's say you rolled 41, you can flip the dice around, and 41 would be a failure for him, but you can flip it around and that's 14. A disadvantage is the opposite. When you rolled 14 and you're like, I made a success, the disadvantage is you flip this around and you fail. It's nothing more than a flip-flop, so to speak. So I have plus 10 on my attack. So I have 85. Not a very... Oh dear. 85, I just rolled 3 higher. I got another fumble. A 1. You drop your weapon. Good stuff. If you're not wielding a weapon, your next attack suffers minus 20. Okay, well, I just lost my weapon. Thank you very much. You get your defense roll. 100, so you completely fail. It is your turn again to attack me. 82, so you completely fail that. I can get a defense roll on it, which is actually 28 because it has an advantage. 1 moment. 28. It needs a combat skill of 30. It's the attacker's 40 plus 30. Yeah, he succeeds this one. Hits me on 19. So he actually gets a critical hit. No. What does he do on 5? Engulfing Devour, physical attack. The cave-bound Lich targets a creature. It's entangled with its constricting grasp ability. It opens its maw wide and attempts to engulf the creature, dealing 2d10 acid damage. If no creature was affected by constricting grasp, the cave-bound Lich deals 1d10 piercing damage, healing for half of the damage done. This is a critical, so a critical attack is, it rolls here a d10. it rolls another d10, and a critical always adds another dice to it, and it says here, yeah. Oh, this page 72. It says your combat critical hits have their damage doubled. This means that if you would usually roll 1d6 for your damage, when you obtain a critical hit, you must roll 2d6 instead. So I gather that this is doubled, so this is 4d10, which is very painful. This is extremely painful. And it does acid damage. This is what I understand from it. So this can be completely destructive to us. Yeah, it's quite insane. I even doubt if this is correct because it doubles it. Yeah, that's it. That's the attack. It's really powerful. This is ouch. 3. Another 8 is another 3. Another 9 is another 3. And this is a 10, which is a 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Holy cow. This is probably the strongest attack that I've ever seen. Wow. Mm. Okay. That is thanks to a critical hit. That is really an insane attack with an insane high roll. I don't even know what to say about it. That is devastating. Absolutely devastating. Wow. It's also an acid damage, which is target is entangled. If one targets a creature, it has entangled. Oh, I'm also entangled. Great. I wish I forgot about your advantage. Entangled. Do write down any condition you have in here so you can easily see what you're doing, and the counter right there. Entangled is a ability right here. Let's see. That's a condition, of course. Entangled here. The afflicted is wrapped in something that constricts their movement. They are incapable of moving, and any action that implies movement suffers -20 penalty. So for movement, I assume from this that acrobatics, athletics, all the weapon skills, stealth, all of those, and dodge are all suffering from it. In our turn, the entangled character can attempt an athletics check in order to remove this condition. This is a free action, but the character can choose to spend a standard action instead to receive a +20 to their athletics check. So when it is our turn, we can, as a free action, roll a -20 athletics check. And it is a free action, which I am a little bit surprised by. Are you certain? So this is another part of the rule. I don't understand exactly why the game does this, but it says here that it is a free action to do so. We have a free action that describes right here. Free actions cost nothing to use and are typically small, almost inconsequential acts, speaking a few words, dropping an item, dropping prone, casting a free ability, or ceasing the concentration of sustained ability. You can only make a single free action per round. Okay. Yes. Okay, I kind of missed it. I thought they were unlimited. That's my interpretation of it. Never mind. You're going to use a standard action to completely get rid of it, and that is pretty much what you're doing in a fight. Is you have a round, and both must attack once, and that is called their turn. And in your turn, you perform a attack and an attack, and that was your standard action. And you have some small and free actions and reactions as well. I haven't really talked about it, but I wanted to show combat the way how it goes, so we'll proceed with that one. That was our attack on us. We still have a defensive move to make. 20, I do succeed this. Reduce your opponent's armor by 1 in one random location until the end of combat. That is very fortuitous. I really hope I don't roll 18 or 20. 18 to 20. Of course I roll 18 to 20. Thank you very much. Otherwise it would have been your body part. RNG, I hate you. Yeah, well, it's our attack again, and he is defending. Let's see, yeah, the advantage on... Yeah, I'll just attack him again. This is the thing, is I want to attack him, however, my bladed skills is now minus 20 because of future 2B here. In the previous fumble, I was disarmed, meaning I must use my unarmed combat skill instead. I gather the damage dealt from the devouring attack shocked me so much that I forgot about being disarmed. It's a good thing, though, to be mistaken, as this gives me an opportunity to tell you why I choose such a high unarmed combat skill, as fumbles may cause you to lose and even break your weapon. This refers you to unarmed combat, and that is why I chose such a high unarmed combat skill, as losing your weapon in the beginning of the game means certain death. I also skipped the next 3 boring rounds, as both sides kept missing by 1 point. Your defense roll is what? 89, so you fail. Let's finish it. You're the attacker again. You roll 3. You hit my 16, which I don't have any armor there. You deal 5, which is the engulfing devour again, the devastating acid attack. That is, I'm entangled again, but I'm already entangled, so we don't have to roll that one again. We gain 2d10 in your attack, and this is a 10, which is 4, and a 3, which is another one, is total 5 damage. My god, this thing deals huge amounts of damage. I've never seen a creature deal this much damage due to criticals. Wow. I said in the beginning that I didn't have much difficulty with the game, but recently that has flipped. Yeah, so he did his attack. Did we do our defense? No. I roll a nice 1, so I did succeed. I roll a 1 as well, so my next attack is a plus 10. Very nice. I attack again. There's nothing special going on other than I am dying rapidly. 29. I could try to get rid of the entangled one, but I still consider my attack to be fairly high, so I take the risk. Plus 1, so this becomes a 6. The 6 is 2 damage on your 12, so you have 1 health point left. There you go. Your defense roll is 55. You don't succeed this because you have 20. That's pretty much it. It attacks. its attack is a 26. It should have 30, so it just succeeded here. Again, it does its engulfing devourer attack again. I'm entangled, but I'm... From the previous attack, the Cavebound Leech still had the advantage. However, it rolled a 55, and if I flip that around, then it will still make a 55, meaning it had a fumble. Now, that advantage is lost, and I forgot to roll its fumble. That could have helped me, but I forgot. I gathered that the Cavebound Leech's devouring or engulfing devourer attack was so devastating, dealing 13 damage. That was really knocked off my pedestal here during the game. I've never seen such a devastating attack, and that pretty much caused me to fumble through the entire game. Good stuff. Through many of the steps, we have also seen combat, so if I die, it doesn't really matter. I'll erase everything, start over with the same character. So I actually think that this is pretty okay. Because if I die, then yeah, this is what happens with the game. You can immediately see how difficult the game can be, or how hard it can be. That's it. I'm calling it. Those dice are cursed. Throughout this entire video, I have told that those red dice, they are cursed. And at this very moment, I looked at the D20 and I knew I didn't roll a critical. But then I looked and it was a critical. It was a 20. And it's on camera. I now see what happened. The die it's on camera. I saw it happen. It rolled to a 20, and I just continued playing here because I couldn't believe that this creature dealt me another critical at this point. But now I see it's just the paper that moved the D20. Nevertheless, I'll say it throughout this entire video. Those dice are cursed. Or perhaps it crushed itself. Perhaps something snapped off, and there's a critical area that I can hit right now. Very happy that you lost it. That was my defense, so is my attack again. 61. Ideal is on your 12, you don't have any armor right there. So, 61, I have 75 because I'm the attacker, minus 20. 55, I fail. Damn it. Yeah, I fail. Yeah, it's your defense move right here. 19, you do succeed it. On the edge, roll a 10. You're going to target my weak spot. This is right here. It's minus 30 to the modifier if you target a body part, but the enemy will target my weak spot. So that is your next attack. So if I don't kill it right now in this attack, then most definitely this guy will kill me in the next attack. There's this defensive move. Wait, this is going to be my death. Oh dear. Please fail. No, you don't. You're the attacker, so you have a combat skill of 40. It is reduced by 10 because you lost a body part, so it's 30. You just rolled 29, so you still succeeded, you bastard. You hit my 12, which is my chest armor. Still I can be saved because I have 3 armor right there, and you deal 2. Constricting Grasp. The Cavebound Leech lunges at a target, attempting to wrap its slimy body around him and constrict it. It makes a melee attack, dealing 1d6 bludgeoning damage on a hit. If the attack hits, the target is entangled, which you are already, and the target takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage at the start of each of their turns while entangled. Shite. I mean, ouch. So it makes a melee attack of a d6. It's a 4. 4 deals 1 damage. Now, hang on. It is a bludgeoning attack. So we scroll the way back here. We have bludgeoning. It says here, caused mainly by crushing weapons such as a mace, environmental effects such as falling rocks, but it ignores 1 armor. So I have, instead of 3, I have 2 armor, Just ignores 1 because this is a bludgeoning attack. So I have 2 armor. It deals me 1 damage. Goes down by 1. On a hit, if the attack hits, which it did, the target is entangled. The target takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage at the start of each of their turns while entangled. So this is gnarly because now it's my turn. I still get the defense roll from this, which is a 4, so I succeed that one. 3. Your opponent receives the bleeding 1 condition. I'm going to represent that with this black die next to its health. I don't think I'm going to explain that right now. Yeah, I'll do. It's a condition. The condition will always, by its number, will go through the die roll table. So it is bleeding 1, 1, it deals 0 damage. That's pretty much it. So bleeding 1, poison 1 isn't all that much trouble in the beginning of the game. However, it is my turn. I take a d6 bludgeoning damage because I'm entangled, which is a 2. 2 is on 1. And I have 1 health point left. I have not seen this in the game yet. Usually when I start with a fight that isn't as brutal as this one, but his critical attack was absolutely massive. Now it's my turn for the attack. I'm at 30 minutes, by the way, so I really hope I get to defeat this creature right now. It also had penetrating, by the way, so I think with my previous attack it did some hits to my armor, but it still had enough points left because it has 3 defense. It's really difficult to get through. I really hope I kill it right now. If I don't, then I'm most definitely dead in the next turn. $29. It is under 15. So that is its body. I have 5. There's no armor there anymore, so this is not +1 but it's +2, so this is a 7. I deal you 2 damage and you're dead. Oops, that was camera. That was the cave-bound Leech. I underscore it on the map so you know I have defeated it. And we'll get a D10 on the resource table. It is not on any of these sheets right here, so let's do that one first. A D10. I rolled a 9, so I get a crafting supply. Set this to 12. After a fight, after defeating a counter, we get 50 experience. So our 50 that we have for entering our domain, and plus the encounter is now a total of 100. Our toughness is increased by a d4 after combat, so a d4, a 3. And our ether recovers entirely. Minus, of course, the sustained effect, so we have 8. And that's pretty much it for this video. A little bit of a rundown of this particular fight. It was quite a complicated one for me because one, I'm recording, I'm speaking, I'm doing all the work for the game, trying to explain it to the best of my ability. And also it had armor on its entire body, which caused me to not deal the right amount of damage that I really was looking for with this particular setup. and it entangled me and did a insane amount of damage, which completely destroyed this character. So I don't think this character will survive for very long, but at least we can get through the rules and we see everything and we understand all the little pieces of it. You know, if I go one room further up and I die, then I'll just erase everything, revert the character, and start again anew with this one, so we can keep on playing with this particular character. Um, which I think I foreshadowed this entire play by calling this Miko Edora the second, because I had Miko Edora the first, and this kind of number kind of tells us that this lineage of family is dying quite quickly. um, Furthermore, we did the traits. The penetrating wasn't really that spectacular. The alert was annoying in the beginning. Um, this was a tough creature, exceptionally tough, and I do think the engulfing devour, the way how I played it, is fair, in the sense that a critical doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, it is truly a devastating attack because it doubles whatever it says on the tin. So yeah, it deals 2d10 acid damage, and that damage is tossed into this table. So yeah, it rolled a really high as well, and almost all dice. Like I had an 8, a 9, a 9, and a 10, I think. So destructive. And furthermore, next time in the next video, we'll continue with Miko Adora. We'll go into camping, and I hope you really enjoyed this one. It was a tough fight. It was a very tough fight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I'm 2B, and in next video we'll proceed fighting through Nethalas with whatever slithers of life we still have left. And yeah, until next time.